Yeah, for a while it looked like the use of credit cards, particularly the number of people who have more than one, was coming down quite a lot. And because we have new options like buy now, pay later and debit cards and that sort of thing that you can choose on if you don't want to use a credit card. But Centrix told me this week that there are still more than 2.3 million active credit cards in the country. So that number is holding up and actually looks like it's gone up a little bit.
Just curious, actually, we should start to see the interest rates come down a little bit, but they don't come down as quickly as your mortgage rates, do they? What are they, about 13% or so for a low-rate card, maybe 20 for the more standard card, something like that?
Yeah, Airspy has one that's 9.95. But actually, I looked at this on my podcast this week, and there are a couple of reasons that credit card interest rates don't come down so much. And one of them is that people always say that they're going to pay off their balance in full.
Yes.
So they don't look so much at the interest rates. Don't worry, there's not that competitive pressure. And the other one is that it's essentially an unsecured debt from the bank perspective. So they want more risk. Potentially, they need more return. Although sometimes that's not quite accurate because it's part of a portfolio of business that you have with the bank, and so they do have that security overall.
Well, I suppose they could argue that there's a lot of fraud, isn't there? And then you think of the, that type of thing, they have to be able to compensate themselves for that. Is that an argument?
Yeah, that's probably fair. It is riskier. You see people challenging payments on credit cards all the time, don't you?
Now, what are some of the key mistakes that people do make with their credit cards?
Well, yeah, not clearing the balance is a big one because you lose all your interest-free benefits that way. Cash advances is another one. I kind of hadn't thought about this for a while, but if you buy lotto tickets and top up your My Lotto, sometimes that's counted as a cash advance, so you potentially pay interest on that straight away and maybe at a higher rate. And the other thing is paying more for cards with reward schemes that you don't get the benefit of. I found one credit card that's available at the moment that costs something like $280 a year. It's got a really good rate of rewards, but you'd have to spend a lot of money to make it worth.
Yeah, so how many reward schemes are there? I mean, are they worth it? I mean, some people, obviously, it's a good incentive for them and they enjoy that type of thing. Are they still pretty popular?
Yeah, they are. We've seen a lot pile into that everyday rewards that Woolworths does now. You can get ASB will give you rewards via that scheme. Consumer says when you spend $12,500 a year on your credit card, it starts to be worth it. So if you're someone who does most of your spending on your card, it probably does pay off. But the typical basic earn rate, I reckon, for the most, the entry-level rewards cards is about $1 of benefits for $150 spent on your card. So it does take a while to build up. It's faster if you pay more for those more expensive cards, but then you have to work out whether you do enough spending on your card, I suppose, to make it worthwhile. Consumer did another comparison where they looked at people, because a lot of people like to get flights benefits on their cards, and they said American Express was offering the most generous flight-based rewards schemes.
Yes, I mean, a lot of the airpoints still very popular. Obviously, those sort of schemes, but they're not linked up with the credit cards anymore, are they? I can't remember. I think that's ended, didn't it, a few years back?
ANZ and Westpac do airpoints, but I think Kiwibank was the one who dropped it recently.
Right. Oh, that's me. There you go. Thank you very much, Susan. Susan Edmonds there, money correspondent, who's been looking into some issues with credit cards. It is 28 minutes past 8. You're listening to Morning Report on RNZ National.
Yes. Still getting a lot of feedback coming in on the surcharges as well when you're considering which cards to use for. I mean, maybe it is worth switching to using credit cards if you can get some points back on it. People sort of shied away from that, but the surcharges may lead them heading back. This person said that they got turned down. They weren't allowed to use cash. They only, or EFTPOS, they had to use PayWave. All cash. They went to an ATM and got charged $2.50 at 8 o'clock this morning. Weather check for you. Showers are going to spread north today. Windy with possible thunderstorms in the far south too.
And still to come before 9 here on Morning Report, some residents on Great Barrier Island in the Chathams are feeling blindsided after the warehouse yesterday ended direct shipping there. We hear from the locals who are cleaning up after the Awakino River burst its banks and flooded homes, and the Kiwi chick who couldn't wait to enter the world. Now the news with Nicola Wright.
The leadership of former Prime Minister Jim Bolger is being remembered this morning following his death. Mr Bolger died yesterday at the age of 90. Flags on all government buildings and naval vessels will fly at half-mast in his honour. Mr Bolger led the National Party starting in 1986 and was the Prime Minister for 7 years from 1990. Another former National Prime Minister, Sir John Key, told Morning Report Mr Bolger loved politics and its potential to transform lives. Sir John says Mr Bolger took brave and bold steps, such as honouring the Crown Treaty relationship. The head of Retail NZ doesn't think consultation on the paywave surcharge ban will stop the government going ahead with the policy. Carolyn Young says her meeting with the Commerce and Consumer Affairs Minister yesterday was engaging, but it was clear they didn't agree. She told Morning Report businesses are trying hard to stay open, and even a small percentage surcharge makes a difference. The Minister, Scott Simpson, told the programme the meeting has not changed the government's determination to ban paywave card surcharge fees. Mental health workers in Auckland have filed a complaint after a staffer suffered what they say was a serious head injury trying to restrain an elderly patient. 50 workers at North Shore Hospital's Te Puna Waiora Secure Unit signed a notice last month asking for 4 older patients to be moved. But Health NZ told them the patients fit the criteria to be there. It says it is reviewing how the staffer was hurt. A new study links climate change to worsening child malnutrition in the Pacific. The study released today by Save the Children says the changing climate and weather disasters are making it harder for families to get healthy food. The National Centre for Women's Health Research is calling for the government to make cervical screening free. It is the only national screening program that is not fully funded at the moment. That's the news. Met Service regional forecasts now. The situation: a front moves up the country before a ridge of high pressure builds over Aotearoa, New Zealand later today. Tomorrow, Friday, a ridge covers the North Island, while a northwesterly flow strengthens over the South Island ahead of an active front approaching from the west. Today, for Northland, Auckland, Coromandel Peninsula, Waikato, Waitomo, Taumaru Nui, Taupō, Taranaki, Taihape, Whanganui, Manawatu, Horowhenua, Kapiti Coast.